But yeah, I appreciate you being here. I know it's not exactly your thing to be on camera or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not your normal Saturday night, as they say.
Yeah, but it's cool. I'll try something new.
Well, yeah, for sure. Could not have you on it. I mean, you're coming up on 5 years.
Yeah, December here. December is my 5th year.
I appreciate that, man.
Of course, man.
That's
You're
cool.
good.
You better fucking
loyal.
stay. Too.
You help me out, I help you out, man.
No, man, that's cool. I appreciate
it. Took a long time for me to get my foot in the door. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just like tattooing it. Did you do it because you brought in your machines? You just kind of like decide to order a machine and just start tattooing, or how'd that go?
Well, I used to do it, at home, like how everybody else started, and teach myself, and I don't know, but I like buying good stuff. I don't like buying cheap stuff. Because if it's mine, I want it to be good.
That's cool. So then, but you're like, I should tattoo, or how did that start?
Did you draw?
What had happened was
I owed a dude a lot of money.
No, it's like, well, I was like drawing since I was like in elementary when I saw other kids draw, and they draw like pretty good, right? And I'm like, damn. And then we had a cousin that was we're close to age, and they used to live downstairs from us, and I saw him draw, and I was like, whoa. Then I was like, let me try to do it too, and then for some reason, it just come natural.
Were you always drawing like at that time, were you still doing like black and gray kind of stuff, or what were you just drawing anything and everything you could?
Oh, drawing it, usually just black and gray stuff, pencil, usually superheroes, because you're a kid, you got superheroes.
I mean, I semi-relate to that. I didn't have comic books, but so I will always try to replicate video games, and I can't remember like what, it was like some Street Fighter game. But so all my drawings were like biker gang dudes. I remember like trying to draw them like they're fighting in the alley, and I remember one he was doing this, like, and I'm like, kind of looks like he's flipping off. So I just drew a finger. As a little kid.
I think mine were like Superman, Batman, and Thundercats.
Oh, badass. That's cool.
And so did you kind of just continue drawing as you got a little bit older? Yeah,
I continued drawing. Then I didn't do it for a while because
girls.
That's the start of my problems.
Nice. We'll edit that out.
Well, let me see what happened now. Yeah, and then I quit drawing after a while because, like, at that time, like, I didn't know about tattoos or anything like that, and you couldn't really make money as an artist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then women started, problems with children started, and I needed extra money, and that's actually how. That's actually how. One of the reasons I started doing tattoo, but I started to do it again because me and a bunch of guys, we were hanging out in my buddy's basement, and one of them came up with like a homemade tattoo machine, right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh shit, hook me up, So we just started tattooing each other.
No way.
That way, we had to go get like Indian ink.
Yep.
And oh man, one time we sent somebody to go buy ink, and he bought the wrong ink. So I tattooed this dude like a whole stomach piece right here.
Oh my god!
And a couple days later, it disappeared, and he
Oh
was going through pain. It was so painful for him. I was like, oh my god.
What? How was the machine made?
It was like with a
like a
Walkman machine, Walkman motor with like guitar strings and a pen as your tube.
How long did you use that for?
Man, we did it for a while, man. And it was so
string?
It was so unsanitized, dude.
Yeah.
You know how we sanitize it? We use a lighter to burn to burn the end of the needle.
Yo, good, right?
But I'm so glad I didn't get a lot. I was doing it for other people.
Wow.
I only had one done, and It was stupid. It
Was that your first tattoo? Like in that time?
Yep. It was, and it was dumb too. It was like my own nickname.
Okay.
You know,
But it was done with like the
with
homemade
the,
machine.
yeah, with the ghetto machines.
Dang.
Were you like whip shading or something, or doing the whole thing, or were you mostly just like outlining?
Man, we were doing outline and like whip shading with just the one needle.
Oh my god.
The one needle. At first, that's all I thought. I didn't even know about like they had like shaders or megs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like especially when I ordered my first real machine from Superior, which came with two machines. You know, two machines, and I don't even remember if it came with a power supply or not.
I mean, I think if we ordered from the same place, I remember at least my kit. Yeah, it had two machines, power supply, that foot pedal.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. I didn't even know how to put it together at first.
Yeah.
Like, let me see what the hell. So I had to go around asking like, you know, tattooers how to set it up, and a lot of them at that time were assholes. They didn't want to help me.
Was that around?
You know what I mean?
And like,
Yeah, that was here. That was
Paul?
in St. Paul. And you know, I was calling around, going into shops like, "Hey, can you help me?" Like,
hey, how to
set
hook up
this
a tattoo machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the dude was like, "Asshole, hey man, you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do it, don't even do it."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh man, all right."
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense. Like at that point in time, you don't know, so you're like, like I've heard stories before. This one podcast I was listening to, kind of a similar situation, and this kid was like, "Yeah, I ran out of ink that I got in my kit, so I went to the tattoo shop to go buy some more, and they told me to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
it
don't
was-
buy ink at the tattoo shop."
That you
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
they were fucking assholes.
Yeah, where's the supply place? Where do you get this stuff? That would happen all the time. Up in Brainerd, people come in. Y'all got barrels? Y'all sell barrels? Like what? You know, obviously we're talking about tubes.
The tubes, yeah.
You just like, what are you talking about? You know, tattoo barrels or tattoo ink, and then after a while, we're like, you know what we should do? We should just like put like 3 drops of black ink in a bottle and fill it up with water, and like, hell yeah, we sell some ink, and just just basically tattoo like nothing. Like we never did. But
I bet
that's crazy.
when you got your machine, you like went to your buddies or whatever, and like, look what I
Absolutely. And everybody's like, "Hey, hook me up."
Wow.
Man, like in the beginning, man, it took hours just to do like small tattoos, you know, because you didn't know. I didn't know, right? You have
Yeah.
to like. I remember the lining, and we always like went over it again like 2 or 3 times, you know.
I don't know why it's light.
Did you ever come across anybody that helped you or gave any tips at all, or was it a whole lot of just like at home experimenting?
In the beginning, it was a at-home experience, and then after a while, then I saw, actually one of my good friends now. He's got a shop in California, and he guided me.
Yeah,
He's a pretty good dude. We're still friends till this day.
that's cool.
That's how I started. He had, did my whole sleeve, and he just like, you know, he didn't want to tell me too much because he thought it was unfair for me to learn like that, and he had to learn by himself too. So he
Yeah.
just said, just watch what I do.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
He'd kind of just push you the right direction.
Yep,
and
yep.
let you run with it. It's kind of a good way to learn, I suppose. It helped you develop, I'm sure, as an artist.
Well, I was like, I was like that too. I was like, you don't have to teach me. Just let me sit in one of the sessions, you know, and let me watch. You know,
Yeah, let me see.
and
what I
that's
can
what
pick
helped
up.
me a lot too.
I agree. I used to do that. I used to go to like the artist that would be cool with it. I'm like, can I just come watch?
Yeah, that's all
Like,
I need.
That's all I need.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I want. But then also, like you said, like just getting tattooed by somebody who's more experienced. I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, I do it that way too. Or sometimes it's like, that's how you do color?
Right.
What the heck? How's that even possible? But you know, it looks good and you do it really well. So it's always real interesting to see how people tattoo.
And first time seeing Megs too, that intimidated me too. I was scared to use it too. I didn't know how to use
Yeah.
Meg noodles.
Were you using flats or round shaders?
First I was using round shaders because I was scared to use Meg needles, you know.
But have you ever used a flat though? Like a 6 flat? It's not a mag. It's just like 6 needles in a row.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the beginning, yep.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that was an awful needle. All those flats were just insanely stupid.
Yep.
But that was the evolution from a round shader.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that I ever used a mag. It was I think it came with the kit that I bought, or I'd like bought in some box or whatever. And I thought, I was like, oh yeah, you can use this and just like line with it. I remember like, I think it was on my buddy or like on my own thigh. I just like tried to do a line, and I was like, well, that didn't fucking work. It's like, I'm gonna put that one to the side and grab a different one.
The guy who did my first tattoo when I was 15, he would be cool. He would let me come in and watch. And I remember seeing him do like this big tribal on this dude's arm. And, he lined it, and I think he lined it with a huge needle. I remember distinctly him saying, well, all the mistakes are on the inside, so we'll be able to cover those up. And he just colored it in with a round shader, like a 14 round shader or something like that. That's how they used to do it. And some guys to this day they just prefer to do that. Like they feel they can saturate way better with something like that. But man, even like that tattoo today, it's like, well, that doesn't work. You could see it does not work.
Now that I think about it, I think one of the reasons I hate tribal is because when I first got into tattooing, that's when it was popular, and I was doing it all the time.
Right.
And it was so, at first it was exciting, right? Because it's so easy.
Yeah, you think it's easy?
yeah, you thought it was easy.
Oh,
and then it's pretty hard to saturate especially when you're doing like with smaller needles, and you don't know any better.
Yep.
And then it got repetitive and boring.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that's why I think whatever God Buddha or now that I never got a
tattoo
tribal.
gods.
Like shit, I'm glad I never got one. I really wanted one too. It was gonna be like a freaking tribal dragon.
Oh dude,
God,
hey,
I'm so glad I didn't do it.
It's not too late.
No, thank you.
I definitely decided at some point that I'll get like a little tribal filler somewhere. I gotta do it.
I think it's timeless. Yeah. I'm stoked that my first tattoo was tribal.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah. My dues are paid. So, like, how long ago would that have been that you're like, and then how did you order your kit? Was it?
I actually saw it off a magazine.
Okay.
Like a tattoo magazine,
Yeah.
where it says order tattoo
funny.
kit.
That's exactly how
I think it was, a tattoo magazine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mom, can I borrow $130?
I
Did
think
you write
it was
a check?
I think it was more than that because
Really?
it came in a suitcase. It came in a suitcase with two machines. I think it was like $500
Oh, okay.
for two machines.
I remember seeing that when that place was,
Superior.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not open anymore.
And do you remember like what when that was like year wise around the time? Like I guess like how long have you actually like been tattooing? Obviously, you've been professionally tattooing for
5 years.
5 years.
Yep. But I don't know. It's been off and on. When I first started, I barely did it. You know what I mean? It was just when it was there, and somebody was like,
When the Hennessy was flowing, and
I wasn't even drinking Hennessy at that time. It was Bacardi 151. That's when I could handle it. I'm telling you, we were young and broke.
Yeah.
But somehow we dig through the couches, we changed, and we got enough to get us a bottle like every other day or every. It was crazy. I don't even know how we did it, but but that's I think in the early 90s. I don't remember the year, probably like 98.
okay.
98.
Oh wow, so damn, that's like 26 years ago. That's crazy.
That's when I first touched a machine. Yep.
Yeah. That's when you first touched a legit machine or the homemade machine?
The homemade machine.
Okay. And then how long was that? How long did you do sick tats with that?
Not even long, because I wasn't even a tattoo artist. I was just doing it if somebody needed somebody who like could draw okay. You know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about being a tattoo artist at that time. You know,
Just doing it to do
I
it.
was like, I know how to draw. Let me do it for you.
Did you just freehand tattoo it,
Yep.
or did you at least draw?
Nope.
No way,
Just-
dude.
just I'm like, but it turned out okay. Though, you know what I mean? The only problem I think when I first did it, my biggest issue was the depth of the needle.
Yeah.
I didn't know how deep to go, and now when I look at my older tattoos, like the people I did in the beginning, I think I went a little too deep because the ink spread. You could tell. You know how it gets blurry,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
that's when you know you went deep.
Well, and you tattooed with a guitar string.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, but I didn't do guitar string too many people, but my superior one. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I got lucky with the guitar string. Only did maybe 4 people.
Oh, okay.
That sounds painful.
Yeah.
It was painful when
God.
especially when they got mine. Oh man, I was like, I don't know if I want to get tattoos.
At what point did it kind of transition from like you just kind of tattooing here and there to like maybe I want to do this or I'm gonna try to pursue?
I don't know what happened, but I think it's from word of mouth. When people telling the people I tatted were telling their friends like, you want to get tattooed? I know a guy that tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't even tattooing. You know, they just said I know a guy that could do tattoos, and then, you know, they wanted me to do it for them. We set up appointments. You know,
Yep.
and I was only getting paid like what, $50, $20 a tattoo. You know,
Yeah.
and I was happy as hell. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm getting paid for this shit.
Yeah.
You know, something I like to do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the only reason I got better was like, you know, I didn't want to be embarrassed that people walking around with some shitty ass tattoos, you know, and if you don't get better, then you get left behind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You-
it's progression. Otherwise, you won't get no clientele.
Yeah, grow
You
or
know?
die, I
Yep.
guess.
Right. So you just kind of had enough demand for you were just kind of like, oh, maybe I should just.
Yeah, I'm not competitive, man. I just want to be good. Right.
I can attest to that. That's exactly how it happened with me too. Is like I'd tattoo somebody and be like, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
but I'll do it."
Yep.
And then that person's like, "Hey, you know," and then you get a call and I'm like, "What? You want a tattoo?
Yep.
All right." And then
Yep,
that
exactly,
just keeps
exactly.
happening, and before you know it, yeah, you're kind of busy.
Yep.
Like, dude, every weekend I got a tattoo. I
Right.
don't even get a weekend anymore. I'm tattooing.
Yep.
That had to have been pretty exciting though for the both of you at that point where you're just
Yeah, at
like
that time.
doing something you like, and especially at that point, I'm sure you're like super fired up and just like really wanting to do it. And it's
Yeah. I mean, I remember my first 20 tattoos. I was probably shaking.
Yeah.
So
Oh man.
nervous, especially if it was on somebody you really didn't know.
Yep. Exactly.
Dude,
My first time I did something I didn't know. I was like, holy shit! It took me forever to start. Too, like because I had to like relax. You know.
where did that? Because you had worked, from my knowledge, at one shop before this.
Yeah. Part time. Because I was trying to get my license, but the lady, I don't know, she was kind of sketchy because she wanted me to work for her, but kind of under the table where she didn't want to help me get my license. And I asked her why, and she said she didn't want to put me under her insurance.
Oh, okay.
And at that time too, I don't want to name the shop, but it's somewhere South Minneapolis.
Okay.
Are they still around?
Not after the riots, but they were around before the riots. But
Oh, okay. Wow.
you know, I was trying to do like at that time, you know, I was still in the beginning of my career,
Yeah.
and I was trying to do like pretty nice tattoo, and I was kind of now I'm pretty fast, but I was kind of slow at that time. And she's like, "Hurry up and just get them in and out."
Oh my gosh. So it's
Yep.
like kind of like a
Yeah, and she
assembly
was,
line.
and I was only getting like 30%.
What?
Because it's part time. She said, because I asked her why. She goes, because you're only part time, you know. And
Yeah.
So you were just.
but I didn't know either.
You
You
were
Yeah,
just
right.
a money maker for her. So like
yeah.
in
Now that I
her
look
mind.
back, yeah, but I didn't know
Right.
because I was just trying to get my foot in the door. You know.
And that seems, I'm sure, really appealing at the time.
Well, even whenever like baseline bottom barrel, like the minimum is 50%. Like
Yeah,
that's
she
where
gave me 30%.
everybody starts.
Yeah.
And then like if you make anything, if you come into a shop and you make, for those that are doing percentage, but for sure back in the day, like if you're like, all right, man, we'll do 55 for you. Like, oh, cool. And then the highest percentage I ever heard of a dude making was 70%. And you know, I mean, that was pretty generous. But yeah, dude, geez, 30%. That's so crazy. I mean, you made $30 off of every $100 of
Yeah.
tattooing you did.
Yeah, but
That's insane.
I'm sure you were still excited.
But
I was
Yeah,
okay
right.
because I just wanted to get my foot and get my name out there
Well,
too.
you wanted to
know?
get licensed. And,
Yep. Yeah, and I wanted to get licensed, but she wasn't doing it for me, so I was like, no, I'm not.
Did you ever like have a hope that maybe she was going to change her mind?
Yep,
Maybe
yeah.
Like maybe she was just playing hard to get or something,
Yeah.
and like over a point of time, maybe she would have.
Actually, I saw her one time at a bar when I started working here,
No way.
and then she's like, "Hey, oh shit!" I mean, because I don't want to say,
Yeah.
but yeah, she said, "Oh, come back work for me."
That's what she called you?
Yeah,
Why?
because I'm Asian, and I think Mexicans call us for China.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my gosh. Wow. Come back and work for me?
Yeah,
So-
so after I was working here.
Wow. Okay, so that was before the riot. So.
Yep, before the riot.
Wow.
That it didn't seem like you had a whole lot of incentive necessarily to go back.
Yeah. Wow, dude, that's so crazy.
I mean, she was a nice lady, but kind of like
Definitely sketchy
sketchy.
business-wise.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Do you feel like you, even though there was all of that stuff, do you feel like that you developed as a tattooer there at all? Like you got to watch other tattooers and stuff, or how did?
There's only one guy that he let me watch him a lot, but he was barely there. And then the other guy, oh my god, this other guy that worked there, like straight drug addict, man. He was like on meth while he was like tattooing people, and dude fell asleep while tattooing somebody.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh man.
Were you there the day?
I was there because I was
What
tattooing my
happened?
client, and I think he fell asleep, and the lady, she's like, "Oh hell no!" I was like, then I looked up like, I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, she got up.
How big was the shop? Like, was it
It
pretty
was about
tight?
like
Okay.
actually smaller than this.
No way.
It was smaller than this because there was a piercer side,
Really?
and then like it's probably like half of the size. Well, the tattoo part is like half of this,
Okay.
half of your shop.
So you were awkwardly close.
Yep, there's only like 2 tattooers.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 tattooers. And she does cosmetic
Oh.
in the back and piercing.
Jeez. Kind of a one-stop shop.
Maybe 3. Like maybe it fit. I'm sorry, it fit 3 tattooers. Like 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
That had to have been super awkward, especially if your client, if you were tattooing somebody.
Yep, man. I was like,
Hmm.
that dude was he's cool, but he's kind of like he barely talked to me, but he was on meth all the time. That's why.
Yeah,
Jeez, man.
he's just trying to make it through the day.
Yeah, but I can't believe he fell asleep and to the wrong person too, man. That lady was hardcore, man.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like motherfucker. Hell no.
He's like, sorry, I've been up for 7 days
Yeah.
straight.
I don't know. Like I was too busy working too. I didn't want to get into it, but I was listening, listening still.
Hoping you don't get involved.
Were you using coils at that time?
Yep, coils.
Okay.
Started with like Dillinger.
Oh. Did that shop? Were you using disposable stuff, or did you
Yep,
ever
disposable
use stainless
stuff.
steel tubes or anything?
No, I just got
Yeah.
disposable. It was easier.
Oh yeah.
Then
Oh yeah, it's easier.
easier than like at that time I didn't have an autoclave
Yeah.
either.
Right. Yeah, so much more involved. Dude, I still like some people still use that stuff though, but they
I
got all the
just think
stuff.
disposable is like more safer too, a safer route where
Yeah.
you don't nothing's reused. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember like scrubbing tubes one time, and like obviously you wear gloves, but you kind of like accidentally plunge through the because you use like basically like little wire, almost like pipe cleaners. They're little
Yep.
brushes that are cylinder, and so you're scrubbing it in.
Yep.
But, and I like poked my finger with it, and I broke the glove. I'm like, oh no. It's like you're literally cleaning the tube, like it's not sterile at all. But yeah, I don't miss that stuff. at all.
Yeah, that's scary, man. When you hit yourself with a needle.
I was gonna say totally random. I was thinking about that today. I was just kind of like in my zone and went like this to like get some ointment and almost like grazed my arm. Have you ever done that before? Like Nick?
I hit my
absolutely.
fingers a few times. for sure.
Absolutely, man.
It hurts,
It's
too.
scary. Yeah, it's scary too. And then you'd be scared. Be like, oh shit.
Yeah, like sometimes it'll be like, did I break the glove? But yeah, it's a weird hit. It's almost like you get, I don't know, just kind of punched as small as the needles. It's like, wow. You're like, ooh.
Yep. Then you take your glove off and check, and you're like, sure enough, you got damn mark there.
Dude, I was gonna say, I know dudes who are like, you got your fingers, you got dots.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's like, You ain't running your shit fast enough then. It's almost like a mark of pride.
Grab your hand.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the goal to not have that, but
But you just got to remember to take your glove off and change out the needle, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I remember, I don't think I stuck myself tattooing, but one time when I was cleaning my tray, this was a long time ago, and I had a cartridge. We were using cartridges. Just started using cartridges. And then I forgot to take the cartridge off the tray, and I wadded it up and stuck me. Dude, first thing I do is go to that dude's paperwork. Thankfully it was good, and I hadn't used the needle, but it was still like on the tray, you know, and I'm like afraid that maybe it, and I think the other time I got stuck like pretty good was one of my buddies was like, you know, you make more room, you don't take up as much room in your sharps container if you take the cartridge apart. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, just throw the needle part in there. Dude, did that and go,
Oh my god!
You know, I'm like trying to take, and
It's not even worth it, man. Just throw
I
that shit.
know. I'm like,
It's not even worth
never
it.
mind.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. Just throw that shit away.
And that was a used needle, but whatever. You know, I've had blood tests since then, and you know, thankfully, but I actually used to work with somebody. She would get a blood test every year, just in case. Yep. She's like, yeah, it's a hazard.
I remember one time this kid, he wanted a tattoo and he wanted to save money. He's like, can I get a used needle? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, actually, it's gonna cost you double.
No, seriously, that's a true story. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no.
Wow.
Like, I disposed of that already anyway, you know.
What the heck?
It's like, would it be cheaper if I get like a used needle and just like we burn and sterilize it?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea what you're asking.
Right?
There's a story from, you know, one of the many shops that have been up north that this other dude was telling me. He's like, dude, I went into a shop and he's like, I want to show you this thing. I don't know if you want to show him how his machine was running or something, but he reached into the sharps container, pulled a needle out, and the dude is telling me this story. He's just like, is he really doing this right now? And he puts his machine together and just like, you know, just shows him like, this is how it's running or something. Like, dude,
What? He grabbed an old needle just to show people how it's running?
yeah. Just, I don't know, to like show him as an example. Yeah, it's like, dude, come on, sacrifice a needle. It's fine.
I know, right?
$1. Well, especially like needles on the bar, those are real cheap compared to cartridges.
I just like keep a couple cartridges just
Same,
like
that's what I do,
floating
too.
in the drawer.
Yep. Yeah. You ever?
Yeah, I'm
unused.
using, like, I don't know. Do you use like reused needles while you're doing fake skin?
Mm-mm. I just feel like I try my best to simulate like I'm always tattooing.
Yeah,
good,
yep.
yeah.
Getting used to that.
in the habit
In the habit of using new needles all the time.
And I wonder, even as he was just doing hours of saturation today, I wonder if that skin dulls those needles.
That's what I was thinking, the same thing.
It has to.
Yeah.
It has to. Because I think even like real skin will, if you're going on like a long session,
Yep.
pretty sure
You have to
after
change
a
out the
number
needle
of
sometimes.
hours.
Yeah, you can't use the same needle for such long sessions too, because I don't know, for some reason it just don't work like how it used to. You know,
Well,
like in
it's
the
probably
beginning.
getting full of skin. Might be getting dull. Probably full of dried
Ointment.
pigment and ointment.
I was noticing that too. I kept on like rinsing it out because I noticed I was like looking and it was just
But for all you scratchers that are watching, just keep using that needle.
yeah. But it was
Don't worry.
just getting all like gnarly and gunky in there. And I was like,
Well,
I mean, we talk shit about scratchers, but like, how the hell we start out?
dude,
You know?
I know. It's like legit every awesome tattooer that I know. Yeah. I used to just tattoo out in my bedroom. And because, you know, and I don't know, like maybe it's probably still happening for sure. Like,
Oh, definitely.
but
I've seen it online. People posting
yeah,
scratch work.
sleeves $30 this weekend only.
Yeah.
I like come book an appointment. It's a chair like on carpet.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this is somebody's bedroom.
You know,
Yeah.
and you can tell too. It's all dirty.
Yeah.
Ashtray
Everything-
sitting right next to the
Yeah,
ink.
Absolutely, it's always the ashtray that
Couple
gets
Miller
you.
Lite
What?
cans right next to it, and one glove.
I feel like in a weird way too, like when you guys were starting out, like most people that I know or have gotten tattooed by that have like similar experiences, it's all kind of like a similar story. Like, yeah, just gonna ordered a machine and like I hear a lot of people now, obviously there's tons of people scratching now, probably even more because of the internet and shit and in
Cheap ass
Amazon or whatever.
Yeah. Cheap ass Amazon machine.
But yeah, it's almost still like, I don't know, like people are just doing it to do it now, or back in the day, like you guys still had like a respect for it, and I don't know, maybe it's just what I see. But
Well, when you put in work and you get better, then you have a respect for it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Then you want everybody to like start off better.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, there's even like for me when I was tattooing myself and like buddies and stuff, like the more I did it and the more I like educated myself on just like tattooing, I just like started to feel like ashamed. I was like, I need to stop doing this and like really.
And I think that's rare, and I really appreciate that, because I
Oh,
think
yeah.
most people, either people just quit, which is probably just as admirable as like feeling ashamed, like, man, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But probably like even fewer stop and then like, I'm gonna go do this the right way. That, I mean, it might seem harder at the time, but I don't know, like maybe it's not. Because then, you get around people who've been doing it for a minute, and you're like, oh, that's how you do that? Oh, I wasn't doing it that way when I was on my own.
That's the thing too, and like I'll learn stuff from both you guys, and I'll just like think back to some of the shit that I've done. I'm like, dude,
We all been there, man. We all been there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, dude, I remember after I got my first tattoo and I ordered my tattoo kit through the mail too, I thought that you just clean the skin with alcohol.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
In the beginning, me too.
Yeah, and
Me
I'm
too.
like, why is the skin like cracking? It just looked like a desert floor.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, just like, oh, it smells like it.
Yep. Before I knew about green soap,
Yeah.
I thought it was alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, you can use water?
I noticed that the skin would do that because I was using alcohol too.
Oh,
So then I would just like, of course, take Aquaphor and then like rub it on the skin first, and then
Clean
like
it out with alcohol.
clean it, and then alcohol to like,
And they're probably like,
all moisturize,
Can you imagine?
moisturize the skin first, and maybe
Yeah.
it'll be better.
Kind of undry it
Yeah.
here. But no, I'm just going to use more alcohol on it.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's brutal.
I
Terrible.
remember that.
Well, I've never heard this before. How did you guys meet each other, or how did your guys' kind of relationship develop?
Well, like I said, I was looking for a shop to get into, and I was calling all around, and not a lot at the time when I first was looking. Not a lot of people was hiring, and then I just got lucky really because it's close to home, and I came up in here. But when I first came up in here, I thought. I thought I walked into the wrong shop, man.
Yeah, but say why though? Like, it's so funny.
I came in. It was only
Profile.
yeah. It's hilarious, dude. Because I came in here and there was like a big ass American flag hanging out right there, right? And the guy that was working there, he's white and bullheaded, right? And then this dude, he was sitting over here. He had like the long hillbilly beard going on, and the area here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like quiet and like
Country.
Hickville and shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh shit. You know?
I was looking for the camera place.
But, yeah, I was nervous, but I'm glad. Like, I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
See him, he's one of the smartest dude I know,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like super nice.
That's
man.
too nice.
Yeah.
Well, and so from my side of the story, I think the Facebook message, which
Yeah.
is pretty common, like I'm finding these days. I think it was like something like, "You guys hiring?" What? But I've kind of learned, because people have taken risks on me. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna at least hear everybody out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna just say no, because you sent me a 3-word message.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, come on in. Let's and
I think it just got to the point where I asked so many shops and I just got tired. Like,
Yeah.
you guys hiring or what?
Right. But you know what's funny though, is that night you came in, and Baldy was here. The person he was tattooing, I think it was like her boyfriend was here, and he heard our conversation. He's like, yeah, he ain't serious. This dude who didn't even work here, he was just, and I'm like,
Oh, like after
he told you that I wasn't serious?
Yeah. He's like, no, he just said everything you wanted to hear. I know people. And here we are 5 years later. And to me, that just shows, like, you know what? All we can do is try.
Yeah.
Because what if I'm saying no to like the next world's best tattooer?
Yeah.
So as long as you show up and you do your thing and you treat everybody with respect and you respect.
That's why I'm so grateful for you, man. That's why I stay loyal, dude. So I'm
Well,
still
dude.
here.
Yeah, man. No, dude. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you're the hardest working person in the shop when you're busy.
Yeah.
We're going through something right now.
Yeah.
But and I like, the dude puts in so many hours, and you've got more 5-star reviews on Google than all of us, and it's just like, good. That's what I hope
Yeah,
to.
I got.
To like Harvard.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you got some. So maybe along with that, like, you're well liked, you're well received, you've got loyal clientele. Why do you think that is? Like, what's your secret sauce?
It's just being humble. Don't be too cocky and respect people.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't be like an asshole,
Right.
basically,
Right.
because everybody needs a chance for you to know them before you judge them.
Yeah. I've heard you be so patient with people. Like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Can we move that one pedal?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
my God, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that I'm like, dude, I'd be like, nope. But it's cool though, because then it's just like, you know what? Maybe I need to be more like that. And that's the environment.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's like, well, hopefully we can just pull something from each other. No matter where we're at, no matter who we are, it's just like, you know what? I need to be more like that.
And I noticed too, like, all the time, your appointments will come in and yada yada, and it's always like so many referrals. Like, somebody will come in and be like, "Oh, so and so sent me here," or my cousin or something's coming in too. You know what I mean? It's
Asians, we got cousins by the dozens.
but it's like, obviously you're doing something right. Like, people want to come see Nigh.
Well, and I think that's cool though. Speaking of, you kind of tongue in cheek making fun of that, but it's like, that's a huge community that seems super loyal to one another, and that's almost like a baked-in career. Because if any of those people want a tattoo, we got the guy.
Yeah.
And all 50 of us are going to come to that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you got just regular people, regular referrals who are like, oh, he does portraits, I want to come to him.
Yep.
And that's pretty sweet, man. So yeah, dude, I'm grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
I tell people, it's like, you're the longest lasting person aside from me, and that's because I can't leave. Maybe I will one day. Where the hell did he go? I don't know. Now he's got the key in the passport. He's good.
I don't know where he went.
He doesn't have the key to that one file cabinet, though. You'll figure
He
it out.
still owns the building, but I'm still here.
You still pay rent or no?
I got appointments today.
What's your favorite subject matter to tattoo?
I think I like. My favorite is probably black and gray realism. Mostly like dark stuff. A lot of faces. I like to do a lot of faces. It's fun to me. It don't get boring. Because you have to concentrate. Because if you do one wrong thing, then it changes the whole face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I only like tattoo monster portraits. But, you'll tell.
Monsters, monsters are cool because that you could mess up and then change it yourself.
You can tell it's Frankenstein. Yeah. That's not Grandma Ethel.
Did you, when you were just like drawing, did you like to draw like portraits and stuff as well, or was that just kind of because of
when I
tattooing?
first started out, it's mostly like superheroes and cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you
The
remember
human anatomy and like perfectly symmetrical
two
things.
super easy things?
Yeah, right.
Do Do you remember like your first portrait, like right off the bat, where did it just kind of click, or was it a developed thing where you learned to love it?
It was a development thing. I don't remember my first portrait, but
Yeah, and then where did you get the guts to try a portrait?
sometimes you have to just do it to know what you need to improve on. You know what I mean? And to know if you can do it or not. Because if you're afraid, then you won't grow.
Yeah.
You know.
I had to watch a DVD to be like, oh, okay. I want to try this now, but I'm gonna do it for free because then you can't be mad at me for messing it up.
Yep.
And every time, dude,
I think the hardest thing for me in portrait is probably the hair and the nose. Before, when I first started, I used to draw the nose with lines on it, right? But now I know that it's not lines; it's just shading.
Yeah,
It's just shading. Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes people can do it though with a line, and it looks cool. And yeah, I sometimes wonder, like, should I put a line on this thing or not?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Because when you first start, when you look at like people who start drawing portraits on like, little kids when they draw, usually the girls that will draw girls, and when they do the nose, you can see all the lines of the nose. When in reality, when you're looking at somebody, there's no lines. It's all like shade and shapes. You know what I mean? Contrast.
Edges. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that I learned from you. It's like I do not draw anything close to portraits, but that was one of the early things that you told me. Is like when you're drawing or shading, like it's everything in the world is shadows. It's not necessarily hard to find lines, and it definitely it translated a lot in my drawing for sure.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
Like when I draw lines, it's just to make it pop out more. Usually, but usually it's mostly it's just shading. Shading is everything. The tattoos. Shading will make your tattoo 100% better than the outlining or lining.
Yeah.
That's one thing. If you don't know how to shade, then you should be tattooing.
Yeah.
Really,
I think that's like a thing that I see common today is like, oh, I only do fine lines. Like, I bet you that's probably because you're afraid of learning shading or solid saturation. That's why to me, like, that's step 2 in an apprenticeship. Like, first, let's do some at least halfway consistent line work, and then saturation.
Yep.
Because that's the basis of shading. Then you can learn how to shade off of your saturation. But you skip those 2, and then all you're doing is line work. Unless you're Brandon Holt, you're very narrow. Like you're pigeonholing yourself totally. But then if that's all you do, you better lay down all the line weights, like from a single to a 14. But if you're not, then you're just literally a one-trick pony.
Yeah,
and that's it. And really, what are you contributing to tattooing? Because any of us can do that. Not me anymore because I can't see, but
And one of my other favorite styles is like just using the 3-liner to shade and 4-liner. What they call that, the 3-liner shading.
Oh, like stipple shading?
Yeah. Like I don't even use shader, just the 3-round liner.
Do you think that maybe your guitar string days influenced that a little bit?
No, because I didn't know how to do what I do now with the 3-liners.
Yeah.
Because with back in the day with the guitar string, you just like flick shading, right?
I can only imagine that thing was just flat on the end too.
But it looked cool. It looked cool at the time because
poke the skin.
It looked cool at the time because we didn't have internet and you can't find another reference. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Unless you guys go buy that tattoo magazine before it sells out, you got nothing else to compare this to.
Yep. Yeah, but now like when I do with the 3-round liner, I know I have to slow the machine down to do certain stuff, to make it look a certain way.
Yeah.
So you just you either slow down your speed or speed it up. For a more solid line, you speed it up for like if you wanted to have like the dotted line work or the dotted shading, they just gotta slow down the machine and go with the same. You slow down the machine, but go with the same speed that you've been tattooing. That's like techniques, that you learn along the way.
Did you have like any tattoo, anybody that you looked up to, or was it a whole lot of just kind of the people who were around you at the time?
Just a bunch of homies and word of mouth.
Did you ever look through magazines? Like, oh,
Yeah,
that dude's
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can't like remember the names at the moment.
Yeah, I remember those days too.
Yep, that, and I think I was watching Miami Ink.
Yeah, sure.
What made me try to improve myself, really.
You know what's funny too is like knowing that, you know, Nunez is a former judge on these shows. If people went back and watched Miami Ink, there was a tattoo that he did on that show that he was ridiculed hard for.
I think I remember that.
It was a Buddha head, and like the hat looks like a bunch of nipples. It's like a nipple head Buddha, or something like that. And if you find it, it is he had a bad day that day, or something.
Everybody has a bad day, I think, even if you're like super good.
But he is super good. He is legit. But it's just funny. It's like, man, that was like the first days of like tattooing being in people's living rooms, aside from magazines. Just like, oh boy, this just hit the mainstream.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think for sure that has a lot to do with the explosion of both clients and people wanting to tattoo. I think that's what re-sparked my desire. Is, you know, I had tattooed when I was like 15 to 17, and then didn't, you know, whatever, life. And then
life.
It came on TV and it came back into my brain. I'm like, oh yeah, I love that world. I really
same.
And then that's when it just
I did it, and I didn't do it for a long time because I wasn't like, I didn't know that I wanted it as a career. You know what I mean? But then the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it. That's why I'm so glad like what I do as work is what I enjoy. You know what I mean? And that makes up for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you enjoy coming to work and doing what you do, that's the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because how long did you work a full-time job?
Oh man, about
and still
20.
come tattoo though?
Well, I was working my other job for 20 years, and then I think when I still came here, I worked 2 years, right? I worked there for 2 years before I made the jump to stay here full time.
Yeah. I mean, so let's see. You're here 5 years in December next month.
Yep.
And how many of those years was full time?
3.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. Jeez, dude, that's so
And
crazy.
it was on you, man. It was. Even though the first time you told me to just do it, I like, no, I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
I was scared. I was scared because
leap, no matter where you're at.
yeah, I was just comfortable, and I just wanted to make sure I was guaranteed a check.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plus medical. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That was a big issue too, because I have kids to take care of. You know.
Yeah.
And I needed the medical, but man, once I made that jump, and you know, of course it was scary. You know, because nothing's really 100% guaranteed that you're gonna get paid, right? But once I made that jump, like, man, I wish I would have did it so long ago. You know.
I remember telling them not that this is normal, but I think it was like because I think I was always like, dude, you do what you want to do. I will respect your decision, but I think you can do this. Like, I'm damn near guaranteeing you that you'll be fine. And every now and again, I'm like, by the way, $900 day today.
Yes, right. I remember you keep telling me that. For real.
But keep in mind, I was in here like 8 a.m, right? And I tattooed 4 hours, and then tattooed. I tattooed like
you did a full.
Yeah, it was like a full day, but
right.
Still, man, that's like, I don't know. To me, that's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But people don't. I mean, even that, people think it's expensive, but they don't see like. I mean, I might be tattooing you for 3 to 4 hours, but you don't see like the hours I put in coming up or drawing your stuff with,
I also think too, one thing that people don't consider that should be considered is like your price is your price, not just because of all the extra thing, supplies, material, whatever. But like, I have a skill. I learned this skill. I mastered this over this many years.
And it's experience. You're paying for that experience. Like, I've already failed at these parts. I'm not going to do it today because I've already done that. And just so happens I've done this thing that we're doing today for the last 15 years or whatever. So that's what you're paying for.
Right. Absolutely.
But what pisses me off though is whenever you got dudes who've been doing this for 3 months and they're trying to charge as much as some dudes who've been doing it for 25, 30 years. Like, why? Just because you...
Bro, trust me, I hear it all the time when people tell me like how much they charge, and then I see how much I charge, and like, what the fuck? And they just started in the industry, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't get pissed, but then I'm thinking to myself too, like, should I do that, or should I just stay humble and be nice?
But the fact that you're asking that question means that you're in the right headspace. Absolutely. Because then you're at least like, you have a gauge, you have an obligation to your craft, one, but you also have ethics in this, and you're like, why am I not charging that? Why am I charging what I'm charging? And it's that separates legit people who should be in tattooing and those that are just, I don't know, they're just entitled.
Yeah.
Because they have crowned themselves tattooer.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of times where I see people coming in with tattoos and like, how much you get, like how much did they charge you for that? And I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking underpaid. Dude. You know what I mean?
Well, going back to Miami Ink, when I worked in Brainerd, I saw this dude come in. He's like, he showed his big skank flank that he had, his big rib piece, and it sucked. I'm like, oh, dude, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I got tattooed at Miami Ink. I'm like,
no way.
Yeah, dude. And I think he said it cost him $900. And it was like 2 days back to back, it was awesome. And dude, it was, I don't think I've heard this numerous times, he didn't get tattooed by one of the guys. He got tattooed by some person who was coming through there on a guest spot. Yeah. But he was paying TV prices, unfortunately, and not getting quality work at all. And so there's that too. And so I think maybe.
So basically, I mean, kind of, I'm sorry, kind of basically he's paying he's paying for the opportunity to say he got tattooed by Miami Ink.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the underbelly of especially Miami Ink, because man, I don't know if you remember, but second season, one, they had TV money. That second season, you watch the first season, dude, it's like the lowest budget. Like our phones shoot better video than they had. Second season, they're all driving Escalades. They dress better, better lighting.
Bro, that's just like...
And they're literally like in the bar with wads of money. And that's what people were thinking, that this is a tattoo lifestyle.
I think they definitely put that in these people that you're saying.
I'm telling you, they only give shows to like people that have a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Because then it gets boring if you don't have drama. You know what I mean?
I think what's cool, and I haven't watched any of those shows. I don't even know how long it's been.
Me too. I haven't watched it for so long.
But I keep hearing and seeing these legit badasses that are on this show. And I'm like, well, maybe it's time I watch this, because they're eons better than I am. And they're on the show. Okay. Maybe there's something in me that, now it's not as douchey as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because if these ballers are on there, then it's got to be.
But then sometimes the ballers are acting douchey on the show.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's true. And but then also, like, I know of guys who have been interviewed to go on those shows, and they're like, "So are you competitive? How many trophies have you won?" And they're just trying to find those people who are douchey, so that then they can take that one soundbite and flip the whole script. And you're like, "That's not even me."
Yeah,
like, I think so too. Just to make the show
one thing, maybe the thing will bleep out or something like, "Hey, he's racist.
Yeah.
Like, clearly this guy. And now that's what you're known as on this whole season. Kick off the racist guy.
Yeah.
This is secondhand information, but the dude that I was just talking about who was interviewed to go on the show early, I think this was like, we'd actually done a convention at the same time in Omaha that the winner of season 1 of Ink Master put on. So I was like, oh, that's what he did with his $100,000. He started a convention, and it was a great convention until it wasn't. But he's like, dude, I just got a call from them. We were on our way back from this convention. And he said they asked him all these questions. So secondhand information from him, a number of Ink Master seasons later, this other dude that he knew got on the show, and they're like, dude, you know those like flash challenges and stuff? He's like, they'll take us out in the afternoon and do that, and they'll tell us to go back to the house, and we'll all start partying.
Yeah.
And we'll be partying until like 1 a.m.
I believe it, man. I believe it. Yeah.
The producers will come in at 3 a.m. and be like, let's go. We're going to go film.
Oh my god.
And we're going to do a tattoo flash challenge. And that's how, I'm like, these dudes just went to bed. They're probably still drunk.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, this was like, secondhand information from a dude though, who was on that show. And he's like, dude, it's crazy. He's like, I will never do that again.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god!
I bet though, because sometimes that's why you see those fucked up tattoos on
and
there.
it just stirs it up.
Yeah.
That's a great time to get drama. Yeah. Let's just let them not sleep.
Yeah,
shit. That's good to know, because I think so. Because some of the tattoos look fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the dude's like, if you watch, he's like, some of these dudes look like they're half asleep. There's a freaking reason why. It's because they are. It's 4 a.m. maybe. But they just drug us all out of bed. Like, dude, that is so disrespectful. Because then there's somebody that's got to get tattooed. And I guess who cares about those people, but whatever. Yeah.
Crazy stuff. But what is like the thing that about tattooing that like keeps you here? Obviously, like, you support yourself, your family off tattooing and yada yada yada, but like, what makes you come in and want to keep doing it every single day? What do you love about it?
Most of the time is just trying to improve myself.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Trying to improve myself, see if I could like do better techniques. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like every time you do it, you find it's every tattoo is a learning experience.
Opportunity to learn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Sometimes, like when I tattoo, like I try new shit to see if it works.
Yeah.
But then I don't make it obvious. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it turns out good.
Yeah,
Most of the time, majority of the time, it turns out good. But
right.
then that's how you learn. How to be better.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that you'll reach a point of like satisfaction, or are you always just gonna keep shooting?
No.
I think that's
because there's always somebody either better, or somebody there's always trying to do better. So you always got to do better.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you don't improve, you get left behind.
Yeah. Where do you think your strengths are in tattooing? Whether it's personable or actual tattoo?
I don't know. I just like doing it.
Yeah.
I just like doing it. I don't have like a favorite thing or what I do. I just like doing it.
So I think there's a lot. There's more than just. I feel like the ability to do at least a fundamentally good tattoo is a slice of the tattoo or pie. I also think there's like a people skill, which you're great at. You've got good people skills. People like you. You're friendly. You joke. And, people have rave.
I think that helps a lot too. If you can like communicate with your client and smile, laugh,
personal,
laughing, being personal, yeah.
A tattoo shop can definitely be intimidating or scary to a lot of people.
I love to laugh, man. Shit, if you talk funny story, dude, I'm I'm your dude because I talk shit all the time. I don't talk shit about people, but I don't talk shit about people, but I like to talk shit.
I'm over here looking for support, right, guys?
Sometimes it's just me and you that understands the joke too, right? It's got to be like that, you know what I mean? You just gotta connect with people.
But even you and I have seen people come through here who couldn't do that.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
bro,
absolutely. When you take shit too personal,
you're in a tattoo shop, dude.
It's customer service. You can't take shit personal.
This is not Nordstrom. Like it's punk rock, and we're supposed to say things that are like, "Whoa, dude," or listen to music. And there's probably a reason that this is adults only in here, and we're not. One of my crass when you can be, but also
I think one of my favorite things in tattooing is like some people they just need someone to talk to, like it's therapeutic. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Even my client today, she's like, she was saying that happens to her. She's like, I think these people are like, what am I, your therapist? She's like, yeah, here I am. Yeah. And talking to you like you're my therapist. I'm like, yeah, it's part of the job.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things actually. I like it.
Yeah,
just to get personal with people.
I'm sure you get especially if you have returning clients, you probably get to know a lot about them that a lot of people don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just the hours.
Yeah, sometimes you can just joke with them and talk shit to them, and they're okay with it. Then it's cool. We all have a good time.
Yeah. That is a special part that that you don't get working maybe a 9 to 5, to where it's like, are you going to be able to is that customer going to text you later and invite you over to their house?
Right.
Probably not. Probably
but me. You want to come over? All right.
But in tattooing that can happen, and we've developed best friends in tattooing. And
Yep, absolutely.
I can't quote who it is, but I heard a tattooer once say it's kind of hippy dippy, but they were talking about the client experience, and they were like, somebody comes in, you tattoo them, you were sitting there putting ink into somebody's skin, having this interaction, and it's in a weird way you guys are connected forever, and you just
it is weird like that though.
And I think that's good, and that's why I'm always that can happen on 2 different realms. Either that's a good connection or a terrible connection. The tattoo might be awesome, but man, the memories that come along with that tattoo, if that tattooer was just shitty to the person, then that's going to be with them forever.
I think that's what I always, when I get tattooed, remember more than you guys know, you've been tattooed for a long time. You kind of forget that they're there sometimes, but you will look at it and you'll remember that exact day or what you were.
I remember exactly what he was talking about this time. I still remember some of the things that one of my artists.
But I think clients appreciate that stuff too when you remember what you talked about.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Then they know that you're listening and you're just not there to collect their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's super important.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have heard clients feel that way. It's man, I just feel like they're just trying to take money from me. And
just a transaction.
Yeah, and that's where that's where ethics in tattooing need to come.
That's why I say it. That's why I said too that you have to be humble, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be cocky and just want their money just because you're super good. Mm-hmm. Don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because your talent may not be all that person's looking for.
Absolutely. Yep.
They might be looking for a connection. No, I want to go to somebody I can jive with and relate to, and that's fun to hang out with, or I don't feel like they're a pervert. I mean, I've you kind of hear all that stuff.
Yep.
Dang,
yep,
really?
absolutely.
You had that experience? That's terrible.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand how everybody doesn't think that way. Treat people with respect, and you do a good job, they'll probably keep coming back.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't
you? Dude, I'm a firm believer of treat people how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Firm believer, dude.
Right.
If you're gonna be an ass, don't expect somebody to be nice to you.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
That's why I'm always nice and humble, man. Because I want that shit back too. I don't want you to treat me like shit because I treat you like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely.
So, been here 5 years. What's the next 5 years look like for you? And I'm not trying to get anything from you, but just like, what are your goals? What are your dreams and hopes?
I don't know. My goal is, no disrespect to you, but I want to start my own place too.
Yeah.
But then I think about it and like it's so saturated now where everybody wants their own shop. So,
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna benefit me or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I love where I'm at right now. You know, doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, the goal is always trying to get my own place.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a natural, like, kind of progression that most tattooers, like, try to get to. It's just some try to do it too soon. It's
Right.
like, dude, you have not even paid your dues. Like, I feel personally like, and I don't know. I've got my own personal issues and my own faults and things like that. I'm like, man, at least give a place 5 years before you bounce on it. And I hope that's not why you're sticking around for this long, but it's just like, I'd rather a person want to be here for 8 years before they decide that, or 6 years or whatever. But man,
put in your work.
Hang out for more than 18 months before, the next flashy thing comes along, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. And I guess, for me, I've been in that boat. And so that's why I opened a shop. It's like, I know what it's like to think that the grass is always greener and you're always trying to find it. So why not just try to build a place that maybe encompasses that? And like, yeah, it's super affordable, hopefully, to work here. And like, you're making money, you're stuffing your pockets more than you're stuffing mine. Like, I'm not interested in that. Obviously, we have bills to pay.
Dude, that's why I respect you so much, man. You care for us, not just yourself.
Well,
absolutely.
Thanks, man, because that's like literally one of the top 2 goals and reasons why I wanted to start a shop. Is like, I know what it's like to be a tattooer and to feel like you're just patting this asshole's pocket.
Dude, why you think I'm still loyal, man?
Yeah, and so I'm grateful that you say that, because and that is the goal. And even if it's like, dude, someday my hands fall off. Okay, well, I hope you guys are happy here, because I can't tattoo anymore. And I would even feel like, man, you guys are doing all the work. You guys deserve more money than me. Like, that seems fair to me, I guess. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. I think that's like not everybody thinks that way, and I know that's not always the best business way of thinking. But I'd rather have better relationships than have more money, because
it goes back to the tattoo ethics.
Yeah,
and it's like Josh said last weekend. It's like, be good to tattooing, and tattooing will be good to you.
Yeah, I think that was a great. Yeah, that was a great phrase for sure. That it's like, dang, yeah, that's true.
In community, like we've talked about so many times, like people will apprentice or whatever for like 2 years, then they're like, yep, I open up my own studio. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like, there is so many years you could have had working around veterans learning, because your learning's probably going to stop that day you open that studio.
Well, and if you think about it, it's like, okay, opening my own studio, private. It's like you're basically putting yourself in a closet now.
Yeah, and you have nobody to. Yeah. No community.
Who around you is going to sharpen you? Yeah. Who do you go in and you friendly compete with? You don't have that.
That's important. It's important to I've always felt like surround yourself with people who are better than you, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Obviously good people too, but if you're constantly around way better drawers, tattooers, you're gonna get better.
Or anything, better HVACers, better karate doers, whatever. It's like, whoa, dude, how do you do that? How'd you get there? Well, it wasn't overnight. Yeah. That's step number 1. Yeah. You gotta just dig your heels in, and if you really want it, you'll get there. Yeah, for sure.
To be successful, it's not easy, man. Yeah. You gotta put in the work.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah, right.
You gotta do your time.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Cool.
yeah. Well, we're good, really. And wrap whenever you guys want to. We're at a good
This
time.
is good. This is a good conversation.
It's actually pretty fun.
Thanks, Nye.
Yeah, I
All right, man.
appreciate you.
Thanks, guys, man, for de-virginalizing me.
Hey, welcome to the club.